Again, this is Jesse Garcia or Jesse the Truth. Welcome you to the Growth and Healthiness podcast. Again, I am your host, along with,
Tierica.
and we are here to bring you our second episode. Yay! Called Veggie Fest. So in this episode, we're gonna get into plant-based eating. And you know what I'm saying? The first topic, as always, is going to be explaining what plant based eating is because a lot of people have that misconception going around. They think as long as something is labeled plant based is necessarily healthy for you. And I've seen like stuff that says veggie this and it has egg in it. So,
Oh wow.
they will definitely get you on this. So plant based eating is basically just that eating plant based material that's what I'm saying, made of plants, anywhere from your fruits and vegetables down to, what I'm saying, you have some mock meats that are plant based. They're made with like mushrooms and beans and oats and stuff like that, like oat meat. I didn't know they had oat meat.
I didn't know that
We
either.
have it down at the shop. It's an interesting little thing to eat. You also have soy products, which are made from soybean, which is essentially plant based. Uh, I know how people have a big thing about soy as well. But again, we'll get into that in later episodes. We'll bring you the scientific facts about soy and is it bad for you? Uh,
So make sure you stay around.
Absolutely. Yeah, that's pretty much what plant based diet and eating is. You can eat. There's a difference between eating plant based and definitely eating vegan.
Definitely.
Uh, Again, you have, you know what I'm saying?
I think with plant based, it's less processed.
Absolutely, it's definitely less processed. A lot more chemicals in there, like Beyond Meat. You have soy in there as well, but they have a lot of other stuff to give it the texture of meat. Impossible Burger as well. Uh, cause I don't know any plants that bleed, so there's some chemicals behind that. And again, we don't judge if you eat those type of things to, what I'm saying, curve your little appetite for comfort food such as burgers. There's nothing wrong with it. Always learn moderation, which is a big key component to anything. If you overindulge and have excess of that, obviously it would be bad for you. But you know what I'm saying? That's the little difference between there. You know what I'm saying? How difficult was it for you to like transition over?
So in the beginning, the very, very beginning, it was a little hard for me because I didn't really do a lot of research. So I just basically went cold turkey and I was like, okay, well, I'm just going to eat vegetables. So I only knew about the vegetables that I predominantly ate. I didn't know about all the different types of food that's available when you're vegan or eating plant based. So I basically was eating salads every day. Every day, salads.
The stereotypical food for vegans to eat, salads.
Salads, salads. And then I was like, okay, well, I can make a baked sweet potato. So then I had baked sweet potato with squash and zucchini. So those were like the two meals that I ate for the most, like mostly every day. And I guess as time went on, I'm like, okay, I'm losing weight. This isn't right. Let me go ahead and start doing some research and figuring something out. And Pinterest became my best friend. I found,
Pinterest always has
listen,
great photos, recipes, anything. You want outfit ideas? Pinterest. You want food ideas? Pinterest.
Pinterest.
You want home decor?
Ooh,
Pinterest.
yes, Pinterest. They have
Yeah.
everything. So,
Pinterest, you got to sponsor us with a plug.
okay, I have so many boards with. I got to the point where I broke all my boards down by like vegan Buddha bowls, vegan entrees, vegan sides, vegan drinks and smoothies. Like
Vegan everything.
I broke it down so I could find things a lot easier. But that's what I found helped a lot. When I had recipes in front of me that were not too hard or overwhelming, I was more successful. And then it kind of led me to start trying new things. So it definitely got easier over
Absolutely.
time.
That's beautiful. See, what helped me transition, I think, more so was like I could always cook a little bit. My mama definitely raised me to like, hey, you need to learn how to take care of yourself and not depend on a woman to do it.
Like
Cause
that.
my father wasn't around, so she had to do everything. So she wanted me to be able to take care of myself. So I always been cooking. So I just really transitioned like my cooking style over to vegan. Obviously, doing my research as far as like what I can and can't have. I did use like vegan mock meats for a little bit with certain stuff, like if I made pastas or like pizza and all that, because I was in like a calorie deficit. So I was OMADing at the time. If you don't know what OMADing is, it's just 1 meal a day. It sounds like a lot. It can be a lot of food just depending on how much you're working out. A lot of people look at it like, oh my God, because it's definitely a big plate. But as long as you're working out, it's definitely manageable. So I'd have a big plate of food. I would use mock meats to obviously get my protein intake. Again, all this type of information will be coming later in episodes, so we'll get into why I was doing all this. So I think I was doing that. A lot of people find this weird, but I lost weight off of eating pastas, pizzas, and like I had like a breakfast platter that had like 6 waffles on there, hash browns, and some other things. Because again, I learned my, what I'm saying, my numbers as far as calories and what I need. So I was able to lose weight like that. But I really was just tailoring foods to where I know would be like a little better for me and just tailoring to my liking. And I mean,
It worked out for
it
you.
it worked out. Here I am, 100 pounds lighter, and I have a solid foundation off of just doing this. And yeah, I think mainly I made sure that a lot of my stuff was plant based. I didn't really want to rely heavily on the mock meat, so I wouldn't use them as often because I think oftentimes people have a form of dependency on those. Really just building up a solid foundation of eating my fruits and veggies.
Yes.
Because obviously, I think that's the most important thing when you transition over is to build that foundation. If you don't have a solid foundation to rely on, it's always easy to like cut back and go back. And, you just want that things to, let's say, 2 years down the line after you got that foundation down. If you branch out a little bit and eat a little more of the vegan snacks, because we do have snacks,
Lots of them.
lots of them, and you can gain weight being vegan. It's a big misconception that, oh, you're gonna go vegan and lose weight. No, you can get heavy. I've seen it. I've definitely witnessed it myself. I've been a part of that as well. So it can get you. But if you have a solid foundation to rely on, once you start noticing, you know what I'm saying, maybe a little heftiness in yourself, it's always easy to like, hey, let me go back, let me cut this out for a little while, let me get back to it. So I think the most important thing for me transition over was just setting that solid foundation for myself so that I could always have something to rely on if I branched out.
I love that. It gave you like a clear view of
And
what
gave
you
me
were
something
doing.
like, what I'm saying, the floor to like bounce up off of.
Yeah.
So what was the difficult part for you? Because I know for me, I thought it was gonna be cheese. I really did. This is before I invented the cheese sauce that I am the creator of. Definitely got to cop that. I have other sauces as well. Got to throw that in there, a little
Come on.
sponsorship. Uh, I thought it was gonna be cheese because at the time I was a big meat, cheese, and like bread type of person. So I thought like, man, I can't have cheese no more. This is gonna be hard. But as I like started going into it, I'm like, I really don't use cheese this often. So I'm like, it really wasn't difficult after that. I
You
don't.
just thought it was.
I just thought that was gonna be the most difficult thing. I had a little cravings at first for certain things. Like even sometimes to this day, everybody gets cravings now and then for like old fashioned food that you had.
Or
It's
you
been
can smell it and it will tingle those senses like, oh,
absolutely. I will say mine is like catfish. The
really?
the typical like, hey, catfish, slice of white bread, some hot sauce. You know what I'm saying?
La
The real,
jalapeno.
yeah, the real southern down cooking type of catfish. Uh, but then we have banana blossoms to cure that.
And those are fire. You
Absolutely.
don't need catfish for
If you
that.
cook them right, they can be absolutely. But you can mess them up too. Uh, I know somebody who messed it up before. I won't mention his name, but if he listens to this podcast, he's gonna know who I'm talking about. Uh, but yeah, that I think what mac and cheese. I thought mac and cheese. I was gonna miss mac and cheese, but of course I invented a substitute for that curbed that.
And see, that was probably a good thing that helped you, like being creative, a creative in the kitchen and
Cause
making
man,
different things.
I had I think one of my first times like having vegan mac and cheese was again, I won't mention this person's name. He gonna know exactly who I'm talking about. But I went to a pop up that he had, and I was like, oh, he got vegan mac and cheese on there. I was like, all his food up to this point was fire. I was like, oh yeah, this is gonna be good.
Not the mac and cheese.
I got to the mac and cheese. I said, hey, I had hit him afterwards. I said, hey, my brother, hey, that's some very Caucasian shit you did with this mac and cheese. Cause man, it was watered down noodles with
No flavor.
paprika splashed on there for color. I was like, oh, bro, no, don't ever do this again. Hey, next time, scratch that. If you gonna sit there and do this, scratch that. But luckily he
Revamped himself.
In a
other
sense,
ways. In other ways.
in other sense, like I said, I don't want to give it up too much.
Yeah.
But when he listens to this, he's definitely gonna know who I'm talking about, and he's gonna be like, hey, bro, forget you. But I think that was the only difficult part for me. After that, it was just really just discipline. I mean, if I did get cravings, I would just be like, I don't need it.
I think for me, what was difficult because I already had stopped eating beef and pork before I just went cold turkey with everything else. And just like you, I thought that cheese was going to be like a really hard thing for me. Cheese, sour cream, basically dairy because I put all of that on all my food. But I don't know, I just let it go. I just kind of remembered, why are you doing this? And it wasn't a thing for me. But what I did realize was I kind of had started to form a dependency on like already made vegan things. So that kind of turned into like a difficult situation. Being busy and you already have already pre-made vegan faux meats that you can grab out of the freezer or little
No, absolutely.
burger patties, you have a busy life. That stuff is already pre-made.
They got
It's like,
simulated nuggets now. If you ever been in Walmart, that's the packaging. Simulated.
it says that?
I think it's
Oh,
like
no.
it's something nugs, and it's like a chicken, and it's basically telling you it's like, hey, this isn't nuggets, but you wouldn't know that because they look like nuggets, and I'm like, oh man, I cannot.
See, Gardein was mine. I tore up Gardein everything.
I remember we made what's it called that little sandwich from Whataburger, the barbecue chicken strip sandwich using the
I
Gardein
came and got
strips.
that.
Fire.
It was so
Hey,
good.
fire. Everything can be veganized. So if you ever think like,
Yeah.
well, how am I have this? How am I have that? I guarantee you it's a way and it's somebody who can make it exactly how you remember it, and it's gonna be fire every time.
Yes. I mean, I just have to say shout out to all the like vegan chefs and food creatives because y'all make stuff easy.
Hey, absolutely. Especially here in the Dallas area, we have, you know what I'm saying, Brandon at Bam's Vegan. We have Pineapple Vegan. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Brittany. We have OG Vegan Chef James, who, you know what I'm saying, does his things. Of course, he's working on a new concept right now.
Bonnie and Josh, vegan
Yeah, Vegan Vonnie,
vibrations.
hey, they throw it down. They have the crunch wraps on deck. They have stuffed avocados. They have the vegan mac. Hey, shout out to Vonnie. Hey, you was one of the first people I've had Mac who I was like, damn, this is fire. I don't
It's
even
one of
know.
my favorites.
Yeah, I don't even know
So
how I can
good.
compare it to this. But hey, shout out to Vaughn, man. You definitely throw it down. You hold it down in the Dallas area. Uh, it's plenty of other people I can't really think of right now. But hey, you know who Nunez
Look,
down in
oh,
Addison, Nunez.
yes.
You hold it down with the Mexican vegan food, and it is fire. I love your burritos. I haven't been there in a while, cause it is dangerous to be eating that all the time. Hey, but it's always good.
And Sierra Food Valley and they tamales.
Sierra Food Valley down at the farmers market, they was holding it down.
Listen,
It's been a lot of people. Hey, if you ever come to the Dallas area, there's a lot of people that can hold you down
we
with
got
the vegan food.
options.
It's options out here. Shout out to Mineral Eats, Chef Denise. She quit her job to do that, and she is booming because she has dope food as well. Like I said, if I ain't name you, it's because I can't remember you right now, and we working on the time thing. So hey, shout out to y'all in the Dallas
You
area.
know who you are.
Exactly, you know who you are. Fruit Caves, Marquise holding it down with the lemonades, Fruit Caves. Uh, you know what I'm saying? Holding it down, providing health to the people. Uh, what else do we have to talk about? What were some of the benefits that you know what I'm saying, had going vegan?
Ooh,
Because I think
those are
that's
some.
the one thing that a lot of people are always curious about. How did veganism impact your life? What were the benefits, and what did your family and friends think?
Okay, so we're gonna start with the family and friends, cause I showed up to Thanksgiving with my big old bowl of salad. Yes, I had my salad, and I was proud of myself. Like I made this big old pretty salad with all types of different vegetables in it, and I was proud. I showed up to Thanksgiving, and they went ham on me. We don't eat this. What is wrong with you? You missing now. You already skinny. You gonna lose more weight.
Hey,
Like
that's the greatest thing about black people to me is that hey, they gonna fire you up, but it ain't never gonna be to take personal. Like it's all in good fun, and it's just
it
funny
make
the
you
whole time.
laugh,
You be like,
like
damn, y'all gonna do me like this?
because
Oh,
at the end of the day, your family love you and they want you to be healthy. So
they
from
always look at it. What's this vegan food? Vegan?
uh so it was very interesting how my family kind of responded to it. But I will say, like, they have really made a turnaround after being around me. Like they have they're not completely vegan, but they at least make conscious choices now, and they've let go of a lot of
I
stuff.
say that's beautiful. Beautiful
So
rubbing off on them.
it makes me happy. Any little thing, it makes me happy. Yeah. So what was our other thing?
I look at you terrible.
I know
What were the
my mind
benefits?
be so bad. Oh, the
So
benefits.
yeah, what were the
Yes.
benefits?
Okay, so definitely being more energized. Like I am a small person, but when I was eating regular meat and stuff, I was eating a lot. So I was dragging, moving slow, not getting up. But when I changed my eating habits, like I just felt so much more energetic. But I also went through this whole spiritual journey transformation, and my whole just like mental capacity, my thought process, the way I handled certain situations. I could feel myself literally changing. Like everything was just getting better for me in my life. And I mean, it started with letting go of meat and dairy. Like it just made everything so much better. Of course, the skin got clear, and yeah, even like body odor. You don't have to wear. Well, I don't know, but if you eat vegan food and you eat the right stuff, you don't really have to wear deodorant. You know, that's a
Nah,
real
I ain't
thing.
gonna lie. That is true. Cause
That's a real
sometimes
thing.
I
You
done
are what
forgot. Don't judge me. I mean,
you
hey,
eat.
when you
That's why I was
busy,
like, but it's
everybody
real.
forgets every now and then. I don't want no judgment. Everybody done forgot at least once before, but I definitely noticed that.
And it'd be the end of the day, and you're like, yo, I didn't live the whole day, and I'm
I ain't
good.
do too much. I ain't musty. I
Yeah.
smell under your pits and you. I'm good.
I
Good.
mean, it's just real. But yeah, so really it's spiritual.
That's beautiful.
Spiritual growth. What about you?
So I think
What you
my
got?
biggest benefit from going vegan is again when I was a lot bigger, I had developed high blood pressure. Obviously eating all the salty foods, I used to throw down on the pizza and a lot of other stuff I probably shouldn't have did, knocking down bags of chips with no problems. But I had high blood pressure, and I think it took a year or so. But after I went into a vegan diet, like I can say now that like my blood pressure's returned to normal. I lost weight. My energy is a lot better. My mind is a lot clearer, even though it races
Yeah,
because I'm a creative. So as you know, creative people's mind is always going 1,000 miles per hour. Even
always.
even though it's doing all that, sometimes I'm still able to think very clearly on like what I'm trying to do. The only drawback I will say, it's not even really a drawback. I chalk this up to just being. I don't want to sound cocky, but a genius, because this is a genius trait. Is I'm forgetful, and it's never intentional to anybody who I've ever forgot stuff with. Hey, it's never intentional, but my mind always on to the next thing. So hey, I chalk that up to a genius trait because I don't feel like that's comfort food. Because even before then, I was forgetful. So I mean, I really never had a drawback from being vegan, even with B12, because B12 is a big vitamin that you can't really get being a vegan, so you have to take a supplement. I don't really feel like I've ever encountered a problem with B12. I take it every now and then just to make sure I'm good, but I mean, other than that, it's just been beautiful. As far as with my friends and family, of course, you got your friends who be like, "Oh, you vegan now?" Like, bro, what is you doing? You don't miss this. It's always the
They got the
loads of
jokes.
questions.
They
Yeah,
got
it's
the
always the
jokes.
jokes and the loads of questions. Like, well, what do you eat? Like, you don't miss this. You don't miss that. Uh, my family never really said no. My family's small. My mama loved it. She's like, I can't believe you eating this. She's like, If you would have told me you would have been doing this a couple years ago, I would not have believed it. But she's very open to it. She's not vegan to either, but she's definitely always open to trying my food. She always believes whatever food I put out, it's gonna be good. If
I
it's
love
bad,
that.
I believe she would be very honest with me and tell me, because mom can be very honest about stuff. Uh, Same thing with my sister and them. They was very open into it. She cracking jokes like, "Oh, what do you eat now?" Like if I go over there for like Thanksgiving, she's like, bro, I ain't really got nothing for you." I'm like, she tries every now and then to, like, you know what I'm saying, compensate. I'm like, it's all good. Uh, this year though, I'm pretty sure they'll be over my house for food this year.
Thanksgiving.
I'm throwing
You making a vegan feast for
vegan
Thanksgiving?
feast.
Can I get an invite? Look.
Absolutely. And for those who don't know, down at Bam's Vegan, we will be having a Thanksgiving menu soon. I gotta chop it up with him about that very soon. But we'll have, you know what I'm saying, if you're going out of town, we got the vegan greens for you, the mac and cheese. I'll be doing banana pudding and
Ooh,
Oreo pudding pies. So if you want dessert and you can't have nothing sweet at your people's place,
they
I
got it.
got you covered. Uh, but yeah, like my friends was really the only ones cracking jokes, and it's unfortunately I ain't got too many friends that I like still hang with because of other things. But like a lot of the ones closest to me, they were just, "Hey, bro, that's good for you, bro. I'm proud of you." You know what I'm saying? Making sure I'll stay on it. Shout out to my one bro Duke. Uh, he's the one who really helped me like get my stuff together when it came to like eating right and just getting in shape. He was on me about it. He instilled some fundamental things into me that I always go back to, as far as you got to just get it done. Even if I can't be here to help you, you got to get it done. So, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to him for always being there for me when I needed it.
It's good to
Uh,
have that support.
Absolutely, especially when
Good
you
for that.
turn vegan, because like again, we tell you some people are very critical of it. Some people are gonna make fun of you, and depending on your sensitivity level, you might take it the wrong way. You might be like, it's not really what I want to do, but you know what I'm saying. Uh, you gotta still do it. So
Yeah.
at the end of the day, I mean, shout out to everybody who's a good support cast. Uh,
Definitely.
what's the difference between eating plant based and plant based eating?
Okay.
So
So
this comes down to process. When we say that, because there's two different ways you can eat: processed plant based and you know what
you
I'm
can eat
saying, regular plant
regular
based.
plant based. So we're gonna start with the processed plant based. Like you said, when you're in the grocery store, I'm pretty sure traveling down different aisles, you see different products that catch your attention because they say plant based on there or they say vegan on there, and it's to get your attention. And the front of the products they list all of these different things. It gives you energy, or it's organic or whatever. But at the end of the day, it's processed, and anytime you process anything, you're gonna lose nutrients from it. What and not all the time, but most of the products, which are like snacks or faux meats, things like that. Yes, it's plant based because it's made from plants, as long as you read the back of the label, because like we said, sometimes they slide things in
They'll
there.
get you.
But when you are eating predominantly those things, you're missing out on certain nutrients and certain fibers that you're not going to regularly get from that you wouldn't get if you were to just eat that stuff. But when you do just straight out plants, eating whole foods, like all your vegetables, your grains, your legumes, you're getting everything that comes with it. One thing that really sticks out to me, like they have different candies and stuff, right? That they say is, oh, it's plant based fruit snacks, and it's sugar. So people are eating it and they're like, oh, it's good, it's sugar. Your body goes into a shock because now it's got this weird sugar in it that it's not, recognizing.
It's like alcohol, sugar, alcohols, and stuff like that. They'll damage your body like later down the
Very
line. The more
much.
you consume it, the bigger the damage.
True. But then you go eat plant based, actual plant based, you go eat an apple. It has sugar in it, but it also comes with
The
nutrients.
natural sugars, that natural sugars, stuff like that. Even like
Hmm.
subbing out regular like white sugar for like coconut sugar, date
Yes.
sugars, and stuff like that. Those are like natural sugars that you can actually find in the wild. Like you can't go nowhere and find just. I mean, you could do raw cane sugar. They have, you know what I'm saying, that. But like, as far as like white sugars
That
and
white
brown
sugar.
sugars, you're not gonna find that in the wild too much. So I think really like learning like the labels to things, because that's the biggest thing that catches everybody. marketers know like, hey, if we advertise this product is vegan, we advertise this product is organic, whole grain, you know what I'm saying, free of GMO, all the type of labels that they use to like catch your eye when it comes to health, they know that that's what you're gonna automatically associate it with. Like, oh, this is healthier, so this has to be good for me. And we're here to tell you, like, no, that's not the case. Like, even if you come like eat, like if you eat vegan nachos, you still have to get down to the level of this is still chips,
Right.
this is still cheese, this is still, you know what I'm saying, not healthy to eat all the time. It's a lot better than what, you know what I'm saying, actual dairy and animal product, you know what I'm saying, foods you will eat like that, but it's still not just the healthiest for you. The healthiest form of vegan eating is getting down to vegetables and getting down to like fruits,
Yes, in their
because
natural
that's,
state.
yeah, that's your natural state. That's your natural carbs, your complex carbs and stuff like that. Obviously, you can use those to make other foods, and that's fine. But understand when it starts getting into these labels of being processed, like burgers, hot dogs, cheese, shrimp, all this type of vegan stuff they got, even ice cream and stuff like that. Obviously, that's still bad for you on any component. You look on the back of Ben and Jerry's vegan non-dairy ice cream.
The
It's
ingredients list is
that ingredient list is long, and you look at the calories. That's still 1,000 calories you put in your body off a pint of ice cream. That's a lot. That's almost half of your daily requirement. So it's still just understanding that you got to look on the back of your labels. You got to read the ingredient list, and you got to watch out for like those little gimmicks. Like, hey, this is vegan. You can't associate everything labeled as vegan as healthy.
right.
Because even then, if you get to like fried foods and stuff like that, you're still frying in oil. You're still, you know what I'm saying, vegan lasagna. I mean, lasagna could be healthy depending on how you do it. But if you're using straight nothing but pasta noodles and all that,
And the
obviously
vegan, what is it, the cream cheese or
the
whatever
cream
that
cheese,
goes
the
in it?
ricotta cheese,
Yeah.
and all this type of saucy foods, it can still be very bad for you. So it's really just understanding the difference between processed vegan eating and regular eating. We're not telling you not to eat that. We're just telling you to watch the excess amount.
Moderation.
Exactly.
Moderation.
Moderation. Moderation will be something we pump to you all the time because it's key to a lot. I won't say it's the key to everything, but it is the key to a lot. So,
If I
you know,
if I could give the people a takeaway when it comes to being able to identify processed plant based versus regular plant based, when you go to the grocery store, predominantly buy your food from the produce section. You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And shop mainly there and then just get a few things from the aisles. You don't want to go straight to the aisles and, spend most of your time there because that's where all the processed stuff is. So if you are confused, stay in the produce section. That's where your
Absolutely.
good
And
stuff
we'll
is.
be having an episode to you to give you a little shopper's guide to that because that's one of the services she provides as well. Learning, you know what I'm saying, how to really shop when you're vegan because a lot of people associate veganism with expensiveness, and we're here to eliminate that myth as well. But
That one.
as always,
It's been great.
it's been great. I'm Jesse,
I'm Tierica. Thank
and
y'all
this
for
has
tuning
been
in.
the Growth Podcast. As we tell you before, we got loads more coming to you. So just stay tuned. And as always, peace, love, and happiness. We appreciate you.
Love that. Thank
Thank
y'all.
you. So we done with that.